biodiversity or biological diversity. This is the sum of all different species of animals, plants, fungi, and microbial organisms living on Earth. Each species is adapted to its unique niche in the environment. The elements is subdivided into three different levels: genetic level, species level, and ecosystem level. First one is genetic biodiversity, or genetic level refers to the differences in the genetic of a species. The visible characteristics such as color of the eyes and fur of a cat. Species biodiversity, it refers to the species biodiversity, the diversity of the different species in a determined environment, whereby species we mean are group of organisms that can bear offspring. And lastly, ecosystem biodiversity, the variety of environments and a determined natural area in the expression of biodiversity in the ecosystem.
I have here some example of endangered species. One of them is koala bear. Koalas live only in eucalyptus forests and are completely dependent on this forest for their survival, both as a habitat and their primary food supply. Human activities such as farming, logging, and urban development endanger the koala by destroying eucalyptus forests. Second one, black rhinoceros. The illegal poaching for rhinoceros horns has caused the animal to become an endangered species because its horn is used in medicinal purposes. Humans are far more dangerous to fish than fish are to humans because the fact is, sharks kill about 30 people per year while an estimated 700 metric tons of sharks are harvested or killed by people each year. Several species of sharks, including the great white shark, have been greatly overfished. Many stocks of wild fish has been harvested beyond their natural capacity to sustain their populations. Even large marine stocks, once thought immune to the effects of overfishing, like the Pacific sardine and the Peruvian anchovy, have declined dramatically. Another example is coho salmon, that is once one of the most common species of salmon in the Pacific Northwest. The coho have been diminished to 5 to 10% of their former population by a combination of overfishing, habitat destruction, and the erection of a series of dams. They are now dependent on state and federal fish hatcheries to sustain their numbers. These animals are really in great threat, caused by the loss of balance in our environment. Even in polar regions, loss of sea ice as a result of global warming may pose the greatest threat to polar bear populations. As bears use the ice for hunting seals and for resting, as much as two-thirds of the world's population of polar bears may disappear within 50 years as sea ice decreases. These rare species that mostly reptiles and other wild creatures will soon disappear unless people are willing to set aside the necessary land and stop exploiting the animals to an extent that prevents the animals from replacing their population. One example of it is eastern box turtle. The box turtle is exporting to Europe and Asia as pets. The United States numbers have been depleted to near extinction. Another one is hawksbill turtle. The hawksbill turtle, one of many endangered sea turtles, has long been hunted for its decorative shell, which is the source of commercial tortoise shell. One of the causes of the loss of biodiversity is the alteration and loss of the habitats. Because of the transformation of the natural areas, many animals lost their habitats, wherein there is a point in time that they need to go outside the wild just to find another habitat that they think is safer than what they have. Second one is pollution. Human activity influences the natural environment producing negative, direct or indirect effects that alter the flow of energy, the chemical and physical constitution of the environment, and the abundance of the species. Climate change, as we all know, one of the causes of the loss of biodiversity. Heating of the Earth's surface because of the too much emission of carbon dioxide in the air that are trapped and cannot escape in the atmosphere that affects biodiversity because it endangers all the species in the ecosystem. And lastly, overexploitation of resources. When the activities connected with capturing and harvesting, hunting, fishing, or farming, a renewable natural resource in a particular area is excessively intense. the resource itself may become exhausted, as for example, is the case of sardines, herrings, cod, tuna, and many other species that man captures without leaving enough time for the organisms to reproduce.
The Earth's natural assets are made up of plants, animals, land, water, the atmosphere, and the human. Together, we all form part of the planet's ecosystem, which means if there is a biodiversity crisis, our health and livelihoods are at risk too. We are currently using 25% more natural resources than the planet can sustain. As a result, species, habitats, and local communities are under pressure. For example of this is from loss of access to fresh water. Biodiversity underpins the health of the planet and has a direct impact on all our lives. All in all, reduced biodiversity means millions of people face a future where food supplies is more vulnerable to pests and disease, and also where fresh water is irregular or short supply. Modern society deeply undervalues nature. Spreading appreciation of nature will help keep people from destroying it. It is also necessary to make known the consequences of biodiversity loss. Many people who destroy environments do so either unintentionally or are forced to do so. By providing education, people can be taught about the delicate balance of the food web and how destroying certain seemingly insignificant species can lead to destruction of an entire ecosystem. People can thought that they need to be able to sustain ecosystems because their livelihoods depend on an ecosystem's health and growth. Education is the first step in getting more people to protect environments and stop biodiversity and ecosystem loss. The Endangered Species Act of 1973. It was designed to protect critically imperiled species from extinction as a consequence of economic growth and development untempered by adequate concern and in conservation.
The next topic is about forest degradation. First, let us define these two words. The first one is the forest. What is a forest? A forest is a dense growth of trees and underbrush covering a large tract. The next one is degradation. What is degradation? Degradation is the act or process of degrading. It is also defined as the act to decline to a low destitute or demoralized state. To put it short, forest degradation means the declination of the quality or process of losing life of the forest. The forest undergoes mortification that leads to deforestation. Here are the causes of forest degradation. The first one is expansion of farming land. This is the process through agricultural expansion. It converts the forests into pasture lands and other infrastructures such as schools, churches, malls, parks, and other establishments. The second cause is logging. This is one common problem, especially within the forest. This is defined as the illegal cutting of trees, which results to its extinction. This common results to flooding. The third cause is mining. Mining is defined as the business of mines. We all know that forests are very rich in mineral resources and other elements, which results to the attraction of people to sell these resources. But mining destroys the trees and the soil as well, leading to loss of habitat of life forms that dwell within it and great destruction of the process within its ecosystem. The fourth one is urbanization or industrialization. As time goes by, people become modern, building different infrastructures and creating technologies. But to make this possible, creating urbanized areas and promoting industrialization, we destroy the forest and build establishments within it. The fifth one is tourism. We have beautiful sceneries within our country, but people use it to gain money, not knowing that we disturb the life processes within the forest. Having the causes being mentioned, we also have effects of forest degradation. The first one is climate change. Climate change is the unstable climate within the environment due to greenhouse gases that destroys the ozone layer. This is due to the extinction of trees that help lessen these gases. The second one is water and soil resources loss and flooding. Due to mining and other man-made processes that steals resources in its water and land resources, the loss of trees causes flooding. We all know that these trees absorb the water when it rains, but because of its extinction, floods are made due to heavy rainfall. The last one is the habitat loss. The forest is one of the main habitats of animals and other organisms. Having it degraded, the animals loses their habitat and tends to find another place to dwell. Here are some solutions given to help prevent or cure the forest degradation. The DNR, or the Department of Environment and Natural Resources, is a government agency that regulates the environment. They are assigned to help minimize nature problems and find solutions that are possible. They create seminars, programs, conventions, and other events to promote the nature and gather additional help. One of the conventions made in the Philippines is the Convention on International Endangered Species. This convention was made to alert people and other organizations about the endangered species within the country. It tells of people to have concern and help the environment. Some people sell these species. They aim to catch these people and prevent further damage within the forest. The last one is the increased area of forest plantation. Groups of people find possible areas to create forests and a new ecosystem. They plant trees within the areas and maintain its growth. They also revive forests that are near to destruction. There are also other ways to help our forests. We ourselves can help by simple acts of concern.
Land degradation. It is a process in which the value of the biophysical environment is affected by the combination of human-induced processes acting upon the land. Also, environmental degradation is the gradual destruction or reduction of human activities, animal activities, or natural means. Or, land degradation is caused by multiple forces including extreme weather conditions, particularly drought, and human activities that pollute and degrade the quality of the soil. And land utility negatively affecting the food production, livelihoods, and the production and provision of other ecosystems, goods, and services.
Most or all trees in an area are uniformly cut down. One of the causes of the land degradation is overgrazing. It is the grazing of the natural pastures at stocking intensities above the livestock carrying capacity. The resulting decrease in the vegetation cover is a leading cause of wind and water erosion. Quarrying, in which dimension stone, rock, construction aggregate, riprap, sand, gravel, or slate has been excavated from the ground. Another cause of land degradation is agriculture and land use. Improper agricultural practices, for instance, occur only under constraints such as the saturation of good lands under population pressure, which leads settlers to cultivate too shallow or too steep soils. Plow fallow land before it has recovered its fertility, or attempt to obtain multiple crops by irrigating unsuitable soils. Mining is one of the causes of land degradation. Mining and industry are two important activities of man which cause degradation of land. Off-roading, the activity of driving or riding a vehicle on unsurfaced roads or tracks, made of materials such as sand, gravel, river beds, mud, snow, rocks, and other natural terrain. Soil contamination. It is caused by the presence of cyanobiotic chemicals or other alteration in the natural soil environment. Urban or suburban sprawl is a multifaceted concept centered on the expansion of auto-oriented, low-density development.
Soil erosion. And the next one is the lower and less reliable food supplies. It is because of the reduced production of food crops. And the first one is the ecological enhancement in upland areas. The purpose of this second subcomponent will be to reforest upland areas near the headwaters of Tanay River. And the next one is the Conservation International Philippine Sierra Madre Project. The proposed carbon sequestration project is part of this project. Concerted efforts to build alliances with different organizations to restore 12,500 hectares of land within the corridor.
Having a clean and healthy environment is one of the key requisites for nation's development. However, it's quite ironic because as the development grows, lifestyle also adjusts to it. Hand in hand with these populations are new human fulfillments that have come up. Hence, industries have been set up to fulfill the basic needs. As an effect, rapid urbanization and industrial diversification has led to generation of considerate number of plastics and hazardous waste, exploiting the planet's resources, making a huge amount of plastic. In fact, we humans create about 246 million tons of waste every year. In Metro Manila, having a population of 11,099,800 and an annual growth of 5.9%, has 5,500 tons of waste every day. 50% of the waste are compostable, 15% are residual, 30% are factory returnable, and 5% are special wastes.
There are many effects brought by waste management. The first one is surface water contamination or water pollution. contamination of streams, lakes, underground water, bays or oceans by substances harmful to living things. Water is necessary to life on Earth. All organisms contain it. Some live on it. Some drink it. Plants and animals require water that is moderately pure, and they cannot survive if their water is loaded with toxic chemicals or harmful microorganisms. If severe, water pollution can kill large numbers of fish, birds, and other animals in some cases, killing all members of species in affected area. The next one is pollution. Pollution is the contamination of Earth's environment with materials that interfere with human health, the quality of life, or the natural functioning of ecosystem. Although some environmental pollution is a result of natural causes, such as volcanic eruptions, most is caused by human activities. The third one is soil contamination. It is the buildup in soils of persistent toxic compounds, chemical salts, radioactive materials, or disease-causing agents, which have adverse effects on plants, growth, and animal effects. The last one is leachate. The solution formed by leachate, the liquid containing soluble material removed from a solid mixture through which the liquid has passed. Here are the solutions to prevent waste management. The first one is incineration. The products of incineration include the normal primary products of combustion, carbon dioxide and water, as well as oxides of sulfur and nitrogen and other gaseous pollutants. Non-gaseous products are fly ash and unburned solid residue. Emissions of fly ash and other particles are often controlled by wet scrubbers, electrostatic precipitators, and bag filters. The second one is recycling. The practice of recycling solid waste is an ancient one. Metal implements were melted down and recast in prehistoric times. Today, recyclable materials are recovered from municipal refuse by a number of methods: air classification that separates light and heavy fraction, screening, and washing. The third one is landfill. Pollution of surface and groundwater is minimized by lining and contouring the field, compacting and planting the cover, selecting proper soil, diverting upland drainage, and placing waste in sites not subject to flooding or high groundwater levels. The last one is composting. Composting operations of solid waste include preparing refuse and degrading organic matter by aerobic microorganisms. Refuse is pre-resorted to remove materials that might have salvage value or cannot be composted, and is ground up to remove the efficiency of the decomposition process.
Whereby species we mean a group or organism that can breed or
To solve biodiversity and because of that.
And the second one is the
Cover, selecting proper soil, diverse... Ano to? Wait.
And an annual growth rate of 8.
Here are the causes of
plants, fungi, and microbial organisms living on Earth.
And the first one is the ecological enhancement.
And lastly, rare species or scarce in number. Species that is rarely found. Sorry.